Hello everyone. Today I'm here with 20 most important questions of figure of speech. So these are the previous year questions that I've taken. So today's practice is going to be very interesting and important for you people, right? So without wasting of time, let's get started. So here is the question number 1. When the sound of a word resembles the meaning, it denotes the figure of speech. Sound of a word resembles the meaning. So we can guess the meaning by the sound only. So then the figure of speech is known as, here are the four options: transferred epithet, onomatopoeia, metaphor, or synecdoche. The correct answer is onomatopoeia because in this figure of speech, sound suggests the meaning. Next one, what is the name of an implied simile? So this is so we already aware about that whenever we make a comparison between two different things or objects and the words like so as such are used to show the comparison, we have the figure of speech simile. But whenever we make a direct comparison without using the words of comparison like so, such as, then the used figure of speech is known as metaphor, which is also known as implied simile, right? So in metaphor, we make a direct comparison. That's why it is called implied simile. Next one, what is the direct address to the dead, to the absent, or to the personified object or idea? Non metaphor, apostrophe, hyperbole, or none of these. So, metaphor is an implied simile in which we make a direct comparison without showing the words of comparison, right? Hyperbole, excess of things or ideas are shown, right? But now, apostrophe, let me tell you, in apostrophe, we make a direct address to the non living, to the absent, or to the personified object or idea, right? So, here the correct answer is apostrophe. Next one is, what is the figure of speech when the real meaning is exactly the opposite what is expressed by words? Real meaning is totally opposite what is written, right? So it's satire, irony, oxymoron, or none of these. So it's irony. Next is, what a figure of speech has been used in the following lines: all the perfumes of Arabia cannot sweeten this little hand. Here are the options: metaphor, apostrophe, hyperbole, or none of these. So, as I already told you, that metaphor is known as implied simile, right? So, here this answer is incorrect. In apostrophe means we are just direct call someone who is absent, who is dead, non living, right? So here the correct answer is hyperbole because in hyperbole we show the axis of things, right? So here the correct answer is hyperbole. Next is, which of following words is onomatopic? In onomatopic figure of speech we use the sound words like examples like bug, buzz, right? So here the correct answer is bug. Next one, the statement, namely, happiness is but an occasional episode in the general drama of pain, contains the figure of speech, apostrophe, metaphor, hyperbole, or none of these. So here the used figure of speech is metaphor, and these lines are given by Thomas Hardy. Next is, which of following sentence has the figure of speech called apostrophe? So again, the same question. I already told you that apostrophe we call directly someone who is absent, who is non-living, or we can say inanimated idea or thing, right? So we can check here: patriotism, what horror are done in your name? Here we have apostrophe mark also, right? And we are direct calling to the patriotism, which is a, we can say, inanimated idea, right? And directly we are calling it. So here the used figure of speech is apostrophe. Next is, identify the figure of speech in the following line, which is the pen is mightier than sword. So here we can say the PAN stands for the people, those who want to convince people by their thoughts, while SWORD stands for the people, those who want to convince people by force, or we can say forcefully. So here the idea hidden in this statement is कि whenever we want to convince someone, so it is better to convince them with thoughts and ideas, right? We should not use any kind of force to convince, right? Means by the thoughts we can betterly can do that. So here the used figure of speech is metonymy because PAN stand for the people. Those want to convince the people by thoughts, right? And sword, those who want to convince the people forcefully, right? So means there is a meaning behind this line is key. It is better to convince people by their thoughts and expressions, right? We should not, we cannot do it forcefully. So here the used figure of speech is metonymy. Next is find the figure of speech in the following line: to err is human, to forgive divine. So, here in this statement, we can see two opposite ideas are put together in a sentence, right? So, whenever we find two opposite ideas or phrases in a single sentence, so the figure of speech used that is antithesis, right? To err is human and to forgive divine. So, we can see here like two opposite things are set together in a sentence. The used figure of speech is antithesis. Next one, identify the figure of speech in the following line: the man is no fool. Here's the option: metaphor, apostrophe, hyperbole, and litotes. So we have already talked about metaphor, apostrophe, hyperbole, and now it is left only litotes. So let me tell you, in litotes we give a statement, negative statement, in order to put positive sense. A strong positive statement means we are speaking a negative statement and we want to make emphasize on that. That's why we are making it in negative. So here's example: the man is no fool stands, the man is wise enough, right? So here the used figure of speech is litotes. Whenever we give a negative statement in order to put stress on a statement or a sentence, so then used figure of speech is called litotes. So the correct answer is litotes. Next one, find the figure of speech in to err is human, to forgive divine. So we have already taken this sentence. This is antithesis. Next one, the substitution of part for the whole is means a part is shown as the whole. So it is in synecdoche. For an example, like chair stands for a powerful person, right? Next one, the rhyming of vowel sound without of consonant is known as alliteration, metaphor, antithesis, or assonance. Rhyming of vowel sound without of consonant sound is known as assonance. In assonance, we found a repetition of vowel sound. Next one, which figure of speech is used in the following line? Alone, alone, all alone. Alone on a wide, wide sea. Right? So we can see here alone, alone, all alone. Repetition of vowel sound. So used figure of speech is alliteration. Next one, identify the figure of speech in the following sentence. Authority forgets the dying king. So here inanimated object and ideas are shown as they are having life, right? So the used figure of speech is personification. Let me tell you, personification and apostrophe, in both we talk about the inanimated things, objects, or ideas, but in apostrophe there is a direct address. But in personification, simply we are showing that inanimated things or ideas are also having lives, right? So here authority forgets. So can authority forget? No, but authority word is stand for a person who is having authorities, right? So here authority forgets a dying king. Here authority is used as it is having life. So here the used figure of speech is personification. Next one, identify the figure of speech in the following sentence. Friendship is the sheltering tree. So here is a direct comparison of friendship with the sheltering tree, right? So here the used figure of speech is metaphor, because in metaphor we do make a direct comparison. Next one, find the figure of speech in the following line. Milton, thou shouldest be living at this hour. So this statement has been made by William Wordsworth in 1802 London, right? Milton, so there is a direct address. Milton is now no more. Direct address, so the used figure of speech is apostrophe. Next one, point out the figure of speech in the following line. The plowman homeward plods is his weary way. So let me tell you, transferred epithet is a figure of speech in which we transfer epithet. Epithet stands for adjective. So whenever adjective is shifted from one word to another, so the used figure of speech is known as transferred epithet. So here you can see weary way is written. So weary means tired. So way was not tired. Actually, plowman, the farmer, was tired. Right. So whenever adjective is shifted from one word to another, so the used figure of speech is known as transferred epithet. Next one, choose the figure of speech in the following line. The camel is the ship of desert. So here are four options: simile, metaphor, climax, and antithesis. Here's a direct comparison between camel with the ship of desert. Camel is known as the ship of desert, right? So it is implied simile, it is metaphor. I hope you enjoyed today's class. If yes, please do like and do not forget to subscribe to support us. Thanks for watching.